Greetings, Earthlings. The Treasury Department's plan to help struggling homeowners has been failing miserably for months. The program is poorly designed, has been poorly implemented, and only a tiny percentage of borrowers eligible for help have actually received any meaningful assistance at all. The initiative lowers monthly payments for borrowers but fails to reduce their overall debt burden, often increasing that burden, funneling money to banks, of course, that borrowers could have saved by simply renting a different home. But according to recent startling admissions from top Treasury officials, the mortgage plan was actually not really about helping borrowers at all. Who's surprised here? Who's surprised? Anyone? Anyone surprised? Instead, it was simply one element of a broader effort to pump money into big banks and shield them from losses on bad loans. That's right. Treasury openly admitted that its only serious program purporting to help ordinary citizens was actually a cynical move to help Wall Street megabanks. A little honesty for a change. Former Treasury Secretary Tim Geithner has long made it clear his financial repair plan was based on allowing large banks to earn their way back to health. By creating conditions where banks could make easy profits, Geithner and top officials at the Fed hoped to limit the amount of money taxpayers would have to directly inject into the banks. This was never the best strategy for fixing the financial sector, but it wasn't outright predation either. But now, the Treasury Department is making it explicitly clear that it was, and remains, willing to let those so-called earnings come directly at the expense of people hit hardest by the recession, struggling borrowers trying to stay in their homes. Here's how Geithner's Home Affordability Modification Program works, or rather doesn't work. Troubled borrowers can apply to their banks for relief on monthly mortgage payments. Banks who agree to participate in HAMP also agree to do a bunch of things to reduce the monthly payments for borrowers, from lowering interest rates to extending the term of the loan. This is good for the banks because they get to keep accepting payments from borrowers without taking a big loss on the loan. So once again, the homeowner takes the screwing from the bank. Nothing has changed under the guise of Geithner's program. Just a different way to shuffle the cards, folks. As always, in the end, the homeowner continues to get shafted while the big banks roll in dough and the stock market climbs. Just the way the government wants it. We ought to hang them all in the streets and let the buzzards pick them clean. Boston University Professor Kotlikoff says the U.S. is going broke, and that radical reform of U.S. fiscal institutions is essential to secure the nation's economic future. Failure to engage in these massive reforms will inevitably result in the financial demise of the United States, Kotlikoff says. We have a country at the end of its resources. It's exhausted, stripped bare, destitute, bereft, wanting in property, and wrecked, at least in terms of its consumption and borrowing capacity, in consequence of failure to pay its creditors. In short, the country is bankrupt, he said. Some of his colleagues say that the only way to try to fix our problem is to double personal and corporate income taxes. One and the same, I guess, since corporations are now people, although they don't seem to be held accountable like people. Problem with that is we'd all be working to simply pay the government. Is that where we're headed anyway? Probably. The few of us that still have jobs, that is. Personally, technically speaking, I would say we're screwed. Got some honks to throw out to you, of course. Honk request 1258, Golden Fug Nugget. Let's get a honk for all the people that use their internet connection for things other than porn and pointless laughs. Honk request 1259, Panthera 50. Can I get a honk for you, Joe? You're always right on the dot. No, I'm not. But thank you. Honk request 1260, Reset 1776. How about a honk for popping the video cherry? Okay. Honk request 1261. 2 Minstrel, let's have a honk for Glenn Beck's grave. Okay. Honk request 1262. Meadow Lassie, can I get a honk for you, Joe? You deserve it. No, I don't. But I'll do it. Appreciate it. Thank you. Honk request 1263. Icebreaker 7. Can I get a honk for the late bloomers just waking up to the horrific nightmare we call the U.S. economy? Yeah. The horrific nightmare. And what's being done about it? Nada. All empires fail. And they fail largely because they don't change their ways. They proceed on in delusion and fanciful dreams that nothing has changed, that they will always be what they were. Not so. Bye-bye. So long. See you now. Watch your head. Be all you can be. Be aware.
Well, you ask me if I'll forget my baby. I guess I will someday. I don't like it, but I guess things happen that way. You ask me if I'll get along. I guess I will some way. I don't like it, but I guess things happen that way.